What Buddhists believe: the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. Alright, so the Four Noble Truths are the truth of dukkha, suffering, the truth of samudaya, the origin or the cause of suffering, the truth of nirodha, which is the cessation of suffering, and the truth of marga, which is the way towards the path towards the cessation of suffering, and that is the Noble Eightfold Path. Now, the truth of dukkha is the most fundamental observation a Buddhist can make. That is the beginning, that is also the beginning of one's Buddhist path, right? So the beginning of Shakyamuni's Buddha's path was that he discovered that there is pain in the world. There exist people that get old. There exist people that get sick. And that baffled him because previously he was in a state of being protected from these kind of observations. So that was Gautama's Buddha's observation too, and the beginning of his path towards enlightenment, right? So the truth of dukkha is the most fundamental truth that one can discover in their Buddhist way, in their Buddhist path. And actually one should always refer to the truth of dukkha in their practice, in their meditation. So when you look at a person, you look at another human being, or you look at an animal, or you realize a certain situation, are you able to see the dukkha there? Right? Are you being enlightened enough to perceive dukkha in another human being, or an animal, or a being, or a certain situation? Can you see the dukkha? That is the most fundamental truth of Buddhism. Now, samudaya is the cause of dukkha, and that cause is craving, right? So it's craving towards the unwholesome things, or craving towards sensual pleasure and things like that. Through cutting down on craving, we cut down on dukkha, basically. And it certainly makes sense. It is certainly very logical. Okay, so the cessation, nirodha, the cessation of pain, of dukkha, of the truth of pain. Well, we can put an end to pain, to our own pain and other people's pain, I guess, and the pain in this world, by letting go of craving, right? So that is the way towards the cessation of suffering. And the Noble Eightfold Path is the path leading to confinement of attachment and release from dukkha. And it consists of 8 branches. Of course, you do have the Dharma wheel there with 8 branches corresponding to the Noble Eightfold Path. The 8 branches are the right view, the right resolve, the right speech, the right conduct, the right livelihood, the right effort, the right mindfulness, and the right samadhi. Okay, so the right view is describing to include karma and rebirth and the importance of the Four Noble Truths. And the importance of insight into the Four Noble Truths. So the right view actually corresponds to the Dharma and the right insight into the Four Noble Truths. The right resolve is the right motivation, right thought, right aspiration, right motivation. So we renounce the worldly life and follow the Buddhist path. And we resolve to strive towards non-violence and avoid violent and hateful conduct. And the right motivation is in order to seek enlightenment and be of help to other fellow beings that also desire to be happy. The right speech, that's the third of the Eightfold Path, the third of the Noble Eightfold Path. The right speech, so we don't use lying in our speech. We don't use abusive speech, no divisive speech, no idle chatter, no gossip. Okay? So, I guess keep speech to the minimal and try to be truthful in what you are saying. You're never going to be truthful if you're abusive or you're lying, right? And no idle chatter, that means no gossip. Right conduct or action, no killing or injuring beings, no stealing, no material desires, no cravings, no sexual misconduct. The five of the eight noble path. The fifth, right livelihood, no trading in weapons, living beings, meat, liquor, or poisons. So we don't deal in trading weapons, living beings, meat, liquor, or poisons. We stay away from fermented liquor and intoxicants. The sixth of the Noble Eightfold Path, right effort. So we're preventing the arising of unwholesome states. We generate wholesome states. We guard our sense doors, restraints from the sense faculties. We concentrate on mindfulness, right? We arise mindfulness, which is the seventh of the Noble Eightfold Path, actually. And so we concentrate on meditation and mindfulness, which is bringing attention to what we feel and what we experience. Seventh, the right mindfulness, a quality that guards or watches over the mind. The stronger it becomes, the weaker unwholesome states of mind become, weakening their power to take over and dominate thought, word, and deed. So we should focus on what we feel, we should focus on what we think, we should focus upon our inclinations, all the time, so that unwholesome state of mind become weak in us. And that brings forth the eighth of the eight noble fold path, the right samadhi, practicing the 4 stages of jhana, which includes samadhi in the 2nd stage and reinforces the development of samadhi, culminating in equanimity and mindfulness. So that's samadhi, and many of the Buddhist followers experience samadhi and they know what it is. It has a visual counterpart too. There exists a visual experience that arises when samadhi arises in one consciousness. So this is the basics of what Buddhists believe. The very basic fact being the truth of dukkha, suffering, suffering which permeates all human existence. So whenever you find something like a writer's block in your practice, or you feel like you're on a plateau in your practice, just come back to the truth of dukkha and ask yourself if you can see dukkha in another human being or another animal or in a particular situation. Dukkha being the most fundamental of the 4 noble truths.